Chodesh Tov, it's another day of Elul. And you may recall that I started talking about the history of the Jews in Italy, where I am, and I have David De La Rocha here, who's going to sound the shofar today. Um, and we went yesterday to visit the town of Pitigliano, which is famous for its Jewish history. It is about 2 hours south of Siena, and it's, I don't know, an hour north of Rome. And the Jews came to Pitigliano around the mid to late 1500s because they were escaping persecution from the papal state down in Rome. And Pitigliano is this town on the top of a hill in an area where the rock is called tuffo, and the tuffo is very, very porous, and the Etruscans dug many, many, many caves. This area is very famous for the Etruscans, who were very early area settlers from 6th century before the Common Era, dug a lot of caves. So Pitigliano has a cave area underneath it. And what happened to the Jewish community was that in 1622, the Medici family, who were from Florence and they were conquering everything, they came through and took over Pitigliano, and they said to the Jews, you can't leave the ghetto. They made a ghetto, they walled it in, and gave a lot of restrictions to the Jews. This is sadly a familiar story. But so what the Jews did is they expanded downwards by going into the caves, some of which may have been carved out by Etruscans, and then they made a sort of an underground living area beneath their ghetto. By the 1800s, the Jewish community prospered. The politics kept changing, and by 1850, 10% of the whole town was Jewish. But these underground areas remained. In particular, the baking area, which made matzah. They made the Passover matzah, so they only used it to bake matzah, and they used it until 1939. It's one of the underground caverns, and of course we went down there and looked at all of these places, which contained, there was a kosher butcher area, a mikveh, a kosher wine cellar, which was really cold. It was down an extra flight, way, way, way down into the earth, and it was quite cold down there. An area where they did leather dyeing, and then this matzah oven. So in 1938 in Italy, restrictions, the racial laws were passed. The same thing was going on in Italy that was going on in Germany, and the Jews were not allowed to pretty much do anything. And at that point, a lot of the Jews, by 1939, a huge amount of the Jewish population of Pitigliano had left. There are 3 Jews in town today, including one woman who is, her name is Elena Servi, and she's 94 years old, and has done a lot of recounting about things, and she talks about the matzah oven being used until 1939. There are photographs of people making matzah in this underground tunnel. It's quite amazing. There is a special sweet that is sold in the town. So there's only 3 Jews there now, and everything is commemorative. It was very, very moving. There was a lot of Holocaust art and a lot of Holocaust memorial there. And I can't tell you all the details, but I will tell you about the treat that they still make in the town, which is called sfratto, and sfratto means eviction, and I have one of them here to show you. It is a baked good. It looks like a stick. This is a dough stick, like a cookie, and it's filled with nuts and honey and spices and things, and it is representing the rods with which the officers would hit the Jews and get them into the ghetto. So it's sort of a horrible commemoration that this is dessert. So we ate one yesterday, but I have one to bring home, actually.
It sounds delicious and horrifying at the same time.
It's a little like
We didn't know till today, as I did some research, that what this baton-shaped thing represented.
it's a little like Christians wearing a cross. It's like, here's the thing they used to kill us with, and here's the baton they used to whack us with. That's
Anyway.
so amazing.
So we had an amazing time with this history of the Jews in Italy, in this very, very important cultural place for for Jews, which is now lovingly maintained by people who care very, very much about it, including the synagogue, which was restored in 1995, the beautiful yet simple Baroque synagogue, and a whole team of people who aren't Jewish are taking really wonderful care of this area.
Do they ever have services in it?
They have bar mitzvahs or weddings, but there's only 3 Jews there, and I guess they could import people, but they only can have a service if they import people. So,
We could get a group together.
yeah, we could. Well,
Would be
we'll
shocking.
find out about that. Okay, in the meantime, let's hear the shofar for Elul. Tikiya. Shevarim Trua. Tikiya. Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov.
We will have no we'll have no shofar tomorrow because it's Shabbat. Have a beautiful Shabbat. Bye.
Thanks for the news from
Shabbat
Kiliano.
shalom.